All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We got a good one for you here today. We have one with Russ Coulthart on his channel, Reality Check. On Reality Check, he answers questions from the chat. Now, there's a lot of interesting questions that come through. One of them is about the pyramids and the structures underneath. The other ones are about disclosure, doing some research on old UFO stories, things of that nature. Anyways, guys, I hope you like and I hope you enjoy. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Alexandra Bush. G'day, Alex. Let's fire away and try and wade our way through the morass of questions we've got coming in.
Awesome. Our first question is about UFO whistleblower David Grusch. We recently found out he's been hired to be a senior advisor to a representative from Missouri. A person here on Twitter asked, how much will David be able to actually advise this lawmaker? And, what can he really express and share with them?
Well, I can say I've spoken to David a few times about this appointment to Representative Eric Burleson's office, and I think it's a great move, and so does David. It's an opportunity for David to be on the inside the Congress, pushing not just his own representative, but also directing questions and instructing people in other areas. One of the big problems, frankly, is we all think that congressmen are probably just sitting around waiting for the next UAP information. They are pretty busy. And so I think somebody like David, who has the expertise that he's bringing to the job, is really important. There is a question mark about how much he can share because of interestingly enough, not so much the security classifications for David, because whilst he's still obviously waiting, I think, for the renewal of his security clearance, as I understand it, the issue is more, are the members of the Oversight Committee, of which Eric Burleson is one, cleared to hear all that David would be cleared to provide? And that's a big issue. I mean, the way that this has been kept secret in the Congress is there are individuals in the Congress, notably members of the Gang of Eight, who are supposedly allowed to be briefed into all secrets, including WUSAPs, waived, unacknowledged special access programs, the biggest secrets of all. And I know for a fact they haven't been. So there's been a clear breach of oversight here. The personal view I have on this is it's great that David's on the inside, and it's great that we have representatives like Eric Burleson who's basically asking questions about the UAP issue. And there are individual members of the UAP caucus who are fired up on this issue. But I really do take the view that this needs to be coming from the White House. This needs to be leadership from the White House. A lot of people, particularly on the Republican side, are waiting to see what the president's going to say on the UAP issue, because conspicuously, President Trump has signed executive orders authorizing or mandating the declassification of JFK, RFK, MLK, Epstein files, but we're still waiting to see any executive order on the UAPs. And I guess the ball is in the president's court on that area. And I suspect a lot of the Congress people who are basically interested in chasing this issue are waiting to see what leadership comes from the White House.
Someone on YouTube wants to know whatever happened to that Las Vegas UFO backyard incident. Seems like it just vanished like many stories before it.
Okay, look, I have a perpetual argument with my good friend and buddy Scott Roeder from Evidence Room. He's a forensic investigator who really got into this case and spent a lot of time investigating it. I strongly commend everybody go to his site, Evidence Room, Scott Roeder, R-O-D-E-R. Scott is very much a believer in the Las Vegas case, and he did come on News Nation. We did actually do a special with Scott where he was interviewed about his reasons why he felt the whole story was legitimate. He'd interviewed members of the family who were sticking by their story that in their Las Vegas backyard there was a landing of some kind of a craft, and in fact there were certain types of creatures, entities that were seen and in fact videoed in the backyard by members of the family. I never really felt there was enough evidence, and I always felt it was strange the way the family were, at least initially, quite evasive about speaking publicly. I'm told by Scott that they have more recently been interested in speaking and engaging, and that they're not resiling from what they say they saw. But look, News Nation, again, we broke the story and kept leading it out there, and we did the special. There's not much more we can do unless new information comes forward.
Phil has emailed us. He asked, what is your top theory as to why disclosure of NHI has not occurred? There's this notion that people can't handle the truth. What could be so monumental?
Disclosure of NHI actually has occurred in many ways. If you think about it, think about where we've advanced since 2017. The government of the United States has officially admitted that there is a phenomenon of unidentified anomalous phenomena, intelligently controlled objects moving in ways that appear to be operating under intelligent control, that are doing things using the 5 observables as a test that seem to be beyond human technology. Now, that's about as close as you're going to get to any kind of official disclosure at this time of NHI. And it's funny, I just want to say this. I think sometimes we all tend to treat the military, the defense and intelligence establishment, as one kind of amorphous blob of a bunch of stiffs in suits who are all basically saying, no, we're not going to release this evidence. We're never going to tell the truth about what's really going on with NHI. I'm really struck how in the last few months, particularly since Jake Barber's come forward, there's been a real change inside sources of mine from the defense and intelligence establishment. There are people who are saying to me, because I've asked this question repeatedly, is there any good reason why we can't know at least that there is an NHI presence engaging with this planet? And a few people have reached out to me privately, confidentially, and said, there is no good reason, Ross. Keep on pushing. And more importantly, a lot of them are extremely sympathetically disposed towards the Skywatcher operation. A lot of people are saying that what's happening in government is there is a paralysis, and particularly in the US Air Force, talking about stiffs in suits. There are good people in the US Air Force, but there are people in command roles who think that you, the public, will freak out if you learn that the United States Air Force is not able to guarantee air dominance over the United States. And these guys who live their lives swearing an oath to protect the United States simply don't want to admit that there is essentially a technology of some kind that is penetrating US airspace, hovering with impunity over US Air Force bases and civilian areas across the United States, and they can't do a thing about it. They've repeatedly failed using high-tech microwave pulse weapons to bring these objects down. And that's what I'm told is very much the substance of what was revealed in a select Armed Services Committee, a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing that took place earlier this week, that essentially the members have been pushing for answers from the Pentagon, especially since there were admissions made that the Pentagon is still mystified by whatever these UAPs are. People should go back and have a look at the significance of what was revealed on CBS 60 Minutes the other week, where General Van Herk and General Mike Kelly, 2 retired Air Force generals, along with Senator Roger Wicker, basically all admitted they have no bloody idea what these objects are. So the public's being lied to. And I used to think it was because of some sinister conspiracy. I don't anymore.
All right, guys, so that's it for that one there. What do you think about the things that they were saying? Are we ready for disclosure? Are we not ready for the truth? And if we do get the truth, how are we going to react to it? Personally, I think we're ready for the truth. What do you think about the pyramids and the underground structures? Do you believe that those are real? Coulthart is skeptical on it. Coulthart. For me, the verdict is still out on it. I'm neither here nor there with it, because I just don't know. You know what I mean? Some things do seem a little strange at how they release the information, and so I don't know. The verdict is out on it. Anyways, you guys, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.